You notice that questions 9 and questions 10 are literally asking the same thing. So you notice the wording of question 9 says, find the vector find the vector product of each of the following vectors u and v. Okay? So in other words, just find u cross v, right? But then for question 10, it says find the vector which is perpendicular to each of the following vectors u and v. Literally the same thing. They're both asking, can you find me u cross v? But they're doing it in different ways. First question explicitly says, find u cross v, the cross product of u and v, or the vector product of u and v. The next question says, find the vector perpendicular. But they do the same thing. Okay, good. So let's have a look at question 10, part 1. 10, part 1. So what have we got? Can somebody read out vector u for me?
0 to -8.
And can somebody read out vector v for me?
1, -2, 0.
1, -2, 0. Okay. So first things first, to find u cross v, I need to find the determinant of my matrix. So first of all, let's set up my matrix. So what goes along the top row? Yeah, ijk. What goes along the second row?
0 to
Good. So literally u. What goes along the third row?
1,
Absolutely. That make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. So remember, the order really matters here. If it was v cross u, I'd have to do it the other way round. Okay, so always watch that. Then I just do the determinant. Now it's nice and easy, so let's first of all cover that element up, which means that that row and that column's been ruled out, which means that the determinant I need to find, is this matrix here. Make sense? Okay. So what's the determinant of this matrix here?
2 multiplied 0 minus 98, 1, 9, 92.
Good, and all of that's going to be multiplied by my I. Good. Now, I'll just do the calculations first, then we'll go back and sort of work it out. Okay, simplify. Is this going to be plus or minus next? Minus, because it goes plus, then minus. So then I need to find the determinant of, well, there's my element, so I need to find the determinant of this matrix here. So literally 0, -8, 1, 0. What's the determinant of that matrix? Yeah, 0 times 0 minus -8 times 1. Is that okay? Yeah? And I'm going to multiply all of that by j. Okay, good. Then finally, is it a plus or minus? Back to plus again. So it's literally just the middle element which I minus, okay, according to this. So I go plus, and I need to find the determinant of, well, now I move to the k, and I need to find this matrix down here, the lower left. Okay? So it needs to be 0 times -2 minus 2 times 1. Multiplied by k. Is that clear? That's the hardest bit over and done with. Yeah? Hardest bit over and done with. So all I need to find now is this thing simplified. That's it. So what do I get? 2 times 0 minus -8 times 2. -2, sorry. Yeah, that's going to be 16i. Is it going to be negative or positive? It's going to be negative, isn't it? Because negative of -8 times -2 is going to be -16. That's negative. Sorry, that's positive. Then make that negative, yeah? Then minus, we'll look at this. I get negative of -8 times 1. What's that? Positive 8, but that's negative already. So it's going to be -8 times j. And then this thing, well, I get 0 times -2, which is 0, minus 2 times 1, so it's going to be -2k. Is that okay? So therefore, my vector is going to be -16, -8, and -2. In other words, if I start off with u and v, these two vectors, the vector perpendicular to each of these two vectors put together is going to be this one. All good?
So the thing we find is perpendicular to u and v.
Absolutely. So if you think about your left-hand rule, okay, if you, so let me try and draw my left hand out. Yeah, and then yeah, and then yeah, good. I mean, no. So let's imagine that like that finger's coming out of the board, right? So that's my u, that's my v, and that's my vector which is perpendicular to both of them. So let's call it n. Okay, this is my perpendicular vector. Is that good? We all happy with that?
minus 16.
Where?
So n equals to minus 16.
Yeah, so this is n. This is effectively your normal vector, or your perpendicular vector.
Oh, the whole thing is the n.
Yeah, that's your thumb. That's your thumb. This thing here is your thumb. Thumbs up, you get the end. Okay, good. Can I ask you to make sure you have a practice with that? Because have a look in the formula booklet, okay? You have got the formula there, but you have to do a bit of work to find it, okay? Because if you have a look, the vector product of two vectors, so I've used A and B, A cross B is given by the determinant of this matrix here. And you're like, well, how is that useful? I know it's equal to the determinant of that matrix there. But then you have to go up to the section before, and you find that I've given you the formula to work out the determinant of a 3 by 3 matrix. So if I give you a matrix A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, then that should be equal to, the determinant of that matrix should be equal to that. So I have given you the formula, but you have to do a bit of work to find it. Okay, so A cross B is equal to that, and then you can stick the relevant thing in the right place to get this formula down here. But I personally think that's much harder than just doing this. Okay, so make sure you practice with that.